This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai. This is how to use the app to find something for NBA, and we're going to be focused on today's game. So it's kind of a win-win scenario. You watch these episodes to learn how to use the app better, and then you see, when we finish on the end of them, that we hit at a pretty decent rate, that all you have to do is copy and paste what I'm going to teach in this video every single day of the week for NBA. It doesn't matter if we only do one NBA show a week, or 2, or 7, or 0. These videos are evergreen, they're everlasting. You can use them to be successful for the foreseeable future. So for example, tomorrow, Tuesday, there's more NBA games on Tuesday. If you're like, I wish there was a video for Tuesday, well, guess what? You can use this one for Tuesday. You simply copy and paste everything I'm explaining, everything I'm going through. So when there's a day that comes up and you're like, I'm interested in doing NBA, I need a quick refresher. How did the CEO that created this amazing app, this award-winning app, how did he use it for NBA the last time he did a video? Go back to the show, go through things, listen to how I'm looking at stuff, and more often than not, you're going to land on the play that I would have landed on anyway if I did do a show for that day. If you are solely watching these episodes just to see what the pick that we land on at the end, and you're not actually using the app, chances are you're not a successful bettor and you didn't do well this week. You can't just rely on others. You have to enhance your own self. You have to invest time in yourself to learn how to use the app. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. You just have to put the time in. Once it clicks, you're finding plays in seconds on the app. So let's do a quick recap here. So I do want to stress there's a certain mindset you have to have with betting that if you don't have this mindset, you're never going to be a happy bettor. You're not going to have a good time. You're going to be very stressed, and that can lead to a lot of problematic situations. So let's take yesterday's game, for example. The show we did for Sunday Night Football, we dropped on Thursday, so you had like 3 or 4 days to watch it. We landed on Saquon Barkley under like 69.5, right? And the entire game, from the offensive standpoint of the Philadelphia Eagles, went exactly as we were assuming it was going to go. It's going to be a game where the Philly Eagles are not going to put up a ton of points. Saquon Barkley is not going to explode for any long kind of rushes. They are going to give him the ball because he's the starting running back and he's good. But everything that we were projecting was going to happen. Now, what you can't project is that the Detroit Lions head coach was going to be... So there was a stat that I dropped on an image in Discord after this game. In the last 25 years, there's only been 2 instances where a team has gone 0-5 on 4th down conversions or worse. So 0-5, 0-6. Out of the 2 times, it was the same exact head coach on the same exact team. Dan Campbell is the only NFL head coach in the last 2.5 decades to go 0-5 and worse from 4th down conversions. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, they didn't suck on 4th down and he converted some of them. They only lost by 7 points, right? So if they converted one of these 4th downs to get a touchdown or maybe even more and they would have won, there's no way that Saquon Barkley is running in the end of the 4th quarter because they'd be down because they only put up 16 points, which is the whole, like, what we were wanting to happen, only putting up 16 points, having a hard time running. And because Dan Campbell is a idiot of a head coach, you're like, oh yeah, but he risks it and sometimes it works out. I mean, 0-5, being the only head coach in the NFL in the last 2.5 decades to go 0-5 or worse from 4th down conversions in a single game, maybe that's not the greatest idea. So yeah, if they simply converted 1, maybe even 2 of those stupid play calls or stupid play going at 4 on 4th down anyway, Saquon Barkley would have easily hit his under. He only eclipsed the amount we're going under, like with under 2 minutes left, because of course the Lions, one of the most potent NFL offenses in the NFC, or just the NFL in general, only scored single digits, which nobody had. So the reason why I explain this with sports betting, the way to not be stressed out, and you can be like, well, I'm risking money, so I'm always gonna be stressed out. If that's the case, never stop betting on sports. You have to make this a glass half full scenario for you not to be super stressed. And so you have to know that you're not gonna win everything. You also have to know when you made the right call. If your bet loses, that does not mean you made the wrong call. You have to make sure that you're dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's before the game ever starts. If you're confident in your call, you're like, you know what, everything makes sense. This is a good play. Based on everything I'm seeing, this is the right bet. And as long as you can comfortably think that or say that to yourself, if the bet loses, you did all you can do. That's it. Sure, you can be frustrated. You lost money, but you can't be like, you have to take the punches with the wins. Now, if you're just guessing or tailing some random person on social media, or you're just guessing at things, you're not actually trying to understand why something, you're just picking something to pick something, well then that's on your fault and you probably should be frustrated. But if you do everything in your power to set yourself up for success and it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you made a bad pick. So you have to make sure that you rewire your brain so you don't crazy stress yourself out. I don't want to see anybody in the massive community that we have, the betting community, be so high strung that they're flipping out internally equally, whether they so let's say there's two scenarios. You lose a bet because you didn't put in the time or you didn't do the research and you just guessed. You lose a bet because you did everything right, you made the right call and the bet just didn't work out. If both of these stress you out equally, you are not going to have a great time, and you probably should work on that mindset before betting anymore. You have to, I can't control. I can't control on this scenario you not trying hard enough. That's up to you. What we can control is if you do try hard enough, we guide you to set yourself to be in the best position possible to win a bet. And so when they don't lose, you have to be a lot less stressed about it. I'm not saying you can't be stressed or you can't be frustrated. Losing sucks. We get it. But did you make the best decision possible? And I'm saying all this because I'm tying this into last night's play. We made the best decision possible. I am not stressed that Saquon Barkley eclipsed the 69.5 rush yard line with under 2 minutes left. Does it suck? Sure. Again, losing sucks. But like, you have to, it's just, did you make the best decision? Yes, it didn't work out. Okay, move on to the next day. Move on to the next thing. And when you're constantly keeping this in your head and you're not moving on and you're like, oh, you're second guessing yourself, or maybe I didn't make the right choice, or maybe I just suck at this, or whatever it is, like this is just a continuance. It's a buildup. It's like a boiling pot of water. If you keep letting it boil, it's eventually going to overflow, and that's what we do not want to happen. You have to make sure that you simmer down now. You have to simmer the boil. So, now, before we get to the NBA, we're going to find the best thing possible. We're going to teach you how to find the best thing possible. When you use the app as designed, you start to set yourself up for success. You're going to win, then there's going to be some losses. We're not going to hit every single thing we do. We're going to hit a lot, but we're not going to hit every single thing we do. Make sure those losses are you did everything in your power to set yourself up for success. And when they're an L, well, granted, you're following all of our guidelines of bankroll management strategies, the 20-80-20 rule. You just have to move on to the next one. Do not let it mentally destroy you. This is not me referencing anybody in Discord. This is just an educational note to start off this episode. I don't want to see you guys high strung. I don't want to see anybody overstressing something. When you make the right call and it doesn't work out, it's okay. It's okay. If you did make the wrong call, it's still okay as long as you learn from it. Mistakes are okay as long as you learn from it. If you're just constantly making mistakes and you don't try to figure out what you did wrong, or the fact that you didn't do any research and you're just guessing and stuff, like I can't help you with that. I can only help the people that are trying their best to set themselves up for success. So again, chill out. Losses are okay. How many games we got today? Good handful. Version 3.0 is very, very close. I think I mentioned this in an episode sometime in the last couple days, but we brought on 2 more full-time devs. So version 3.0, it's going to launch, without giving too much detail, we're going to launch the mobile version first. So essentially, if you're using the mobile website on like Google Chrome or Safari, or using the mobile app on Android or iOS, we're going to launch it there first. And I think we're going to, and that means when we say, hey, version 3.0 is live, if you go to the desktop version, you're going to see the same version 2.0 version until we launch the desktop version. So I think we're just going to do the mobile first, work out any kinks after we launch it, or we're trying to work out all the kinks now. But yeah, the goal is before Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is next week, right? Yeah, so very soon. Knock on wood, 3.0, very soon. All right, any over-under trifectas? Nope. Let's check FanDuel, just in case there's any different lines they have. All right, nothing there, nothing there. All right, let's move this line to, we'll do 13. Cade's a crazy story. Number 1 overall pick. Very boring for the first couple years of his career, and now he's like, I wouldn't say he's a triple-double machine, but he's a machine. He's getting pretty good pretty quick. So since the start, or not the start, that was, okay, so since 11-3, so 2 weeks ago today, he's had 5 straight games of 26 points or more. Current line is 27.5. Now, the sportsbooks are favoring the under here. He had 4 personal fouls here and here, so I don't know if this... No, I played 41 minutes. He should have probably hit that. But you see here, this is green. We like green. I have 150 matchup variations between 30 teams and 5 positions. The Pacers allow almost the most points to point guards. He is questionable, though. Jalen Duren's probable. Tobias out. Questionable, probable. 27.5 is a pretty high line. What does FanDuel have for it? Does FanDuel favor the under? Yeah, a little bit. All right, let's keep looking. We'll keep that in the back pocket. Trey Murphy, I just saw this red here, and I was like, I don't even want to look at that. But, well, I guess we can look at it. 5 straight games of hitting this line. Dating back to Halloween, he's only missed this line 1 time. It's pretty good. But OKC's got one of the best defenses in the NBA. Poole out, Murray out. So he's projected to start as a shooting guard. So this is a lesson I taught you in a previous video, and I want to recap it here for the people that didn't pay attention or didn't watch the previous video that we did for NBA. This position, next to his name, SF, stands for small forward. Typically, Trey Murphy plays out of the small forward spot, which is why he has that. And this defensive ranking is based on what he traditionally plays out of. But when you click here and you see, oh, the Pelicans, based on injuries, may be starting Trey Murphy in the shooting guard spot. So what do? I go backwards. I go specifically to that game. Let me clear filters real quick. Pelicans, OKC. So what I do here, I saw by looking at the roster that Trey Murphy's projected to start in the shooting guard spot. So we need to see what is the OKC shooting guard defensive ranking, because we know the small forward defensive rankings for 41st when it comes to points. We see here point guard 6th. No, that's OKC. Pelicans versus shooting guard, no. We want to see OKC versus shooting guard. I don't know if we're going to have it, though. So it doesn't look like there's anybody that's a shooting guard that's got a prop here. Man. I'm thinking. So what we were looking for is OKC versus SG but there's no players that are traditional shooting guards playing for the Pelicans, which is the issue here. Let me actually see what the projection is in this game before we even bother looking at. Is this going to be a blowout? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 17.5. We're not going to worry about this game anymore. I was going to go try to see something else to see if I could go into the system and see what the shooting guard matchup is. We're not going to touch any players that are in almost 20-point spreads. You ain't touching that. Let's blow up potential. No. No, no, no. No touchy. Okay. Even moving on anyway. We're going to get away from this game here. Everybody, wait. So yeah, sorting with FanDuel or DraftKings. It seems like the highest percentage difference for points on the over with a green matchup. Oh, Zion's got a trifecta all of a sudden for DraftKings. I guess the line just updated. This guy has barely played this season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games he's played. He hasn't played in 15 days. Okay, so we have a rule. This is a lot of green, right? But the rule is we don't touch players on the first game back from an injury. And how do you know that he's coming back from an injury? You see the most previous game was 11-2. Today is 11-17. There are 15 games between that. Not even on an all-star break do you have 15 days between games. So we're not going to touch him because he's coming back from injury. He's questionable. He may not even be coming back from injury. He may not be coming back in general. Baby line. Let me go back to my filter here real quick. So we're not touching anything from this game anyway. I just said that. I don't know why I was even referencing the fact he's coming back from injury. It doesn't matter. We're not touching the NOP game, the NOP OKC game. See, NOP? It stands for nope. It means don't touch it. So the next highest green play besides Cade is Julius Randle. Last time we played Julius Randle, which was 2 Wednesdays ago, we hit on his points. It was 20.5. Looks like his line's kicked up to 22.5. Been pretty consistent though. His worst has been 19. He has not scored less than 19 points this entire season. The worst offensive output the entire season is 19. Let's see what this matchup looks like. Man. Another double-digit one. Now, granted, for both of these that we looked at, the AI says it should be closer than the what the spread is. There's so many like blowout potentials today. Holy crap. 17.5, 14.5. What is happening? 17.5, 14.5, 13.5, 10.5. There are there's 4 games today that don't have a double-digit spread. The closest game is the Knicks, the Heat, and then it's Philly, Clippers, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Toronto, Charlotte. I don't want to touch anybody that's in a potential blowout. I don't want to touch starting players. The only time I would want to play a prop from this is if you want to go against the rule of playing a baby line and look at somebody coming off the bench, because you're probably going to get a lot of bench time with a 17.5 underdog. That's crazy. Zero green money lines today as well. Also interesting. So everybody is overrated today, or overestimated, I guess. Okay, so now that we know there's 4 games we can look at, Cleveland, Miami, Toronto, Philly. So what we do now is we highlight those games. We click this one, we click this one, we click this one. Toronto, Charlotte was one. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I think these were all the blowouts. I think so. So now we filtered by the games. It's something you can do as well if you don't want to target blowout ones. The problem is there's not really anything sexy. The highest percentage difference is Spida, plus 2.5. Miles McBride, 13.5. He's only hit this line twice this season. First game where he played 26 minutes, and then randomly here 12 days ago where he played 22. Is he projected to start? Yeah. Oh yeah, because Jalen Brunson's, I think, still out. So I'm assuming his projected minutes are higher. Yeah, so his average minutes the last 10 games is 22.82. He's projected to get 24.57. So essentially a few minutes higher than his normal because he's getting that starting opportunity. And then Miami also gives up a lot of points to point guards. Let's look at John Collins here. This year, he's done this 4 times. He's hit this line 4 times. Every other time, has not. Clippers. Derek Jones doubtful, Kawhi doubtful, Jordan Miller doubtful. So, I mean, Kawhi's been out for a bit, because he's on my fantasy team. But again, an uptick in minutes because of injuries. Barely hit this line last game. So I think what I want to do here, so it seems like DraftKings is 50-50 on the over-under. FanDuel favors the over. Looks like BetMGM also favors the over by a smidge. So what I'm doing here, so I know that, excuse me, so I know that these players are out. Hold on, I'm loading the roster details here. Refresh the page to reload the roster details. I guess it's in the middle of an update. But I'm curious, so I'm going to bring up the previous matchups here. So we have Clippers Boston on the 16th, which was yesterday. This is when he hit. So he got 30 minutes, put up 13 shots, the second most on his team. Made 8, 1 from 4 from deep, 17 points, barely hitting this line. So I know we can go back, we can see his individual performance, but what I actually want to do is I want to go back to, this was a double OT game. He played 24 minutes. He had 5 personal fouls, so he looks like he was in foul trouble. 0 for 3 from deep, 3 from 8 shooting. Only scored 8 points. And then the Nuggets here. "21 minutes, horrendous shooting." So Jones that's projected to not be here. Man, I gotta go back and redo this. Hold on. Oh, did it unhighlight my games? Okay, let me do this again. Hold on. Hold your horses. Clippers points is what we're looking at. Let me just go straight to that. Oh, we're looking at unders. I was like, where are these guys at? I forgot we're looking at unders. My bad. So there we go. Derek Jones is doubtful. Derek Jones played in that game. Did Derek Jones play in the double OT game? He did. 40 minutes, 15 points. So yeah, I don't like this because these games of horrible shooting performances, Derek Jones was playing, and then I don't think Derek Jones played yesterday. He only played 11 minutes, so that's why this shot up. So yeah, I don't trust this because Derek Jones is doubtful to play. Change the filter again. We'll get there eventually, guys. We just want to make sure we consider everything. I don't know if there's any other unders I want to consider here. Vooch versus... Oh, this is a blowout game, right? Was Chicago... Hold on. Chicago and Denver was a blowout game, right? Just playing with the spread predictor on my phone, so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Yeah, 14.5. So we need to. Well, actually, if it's 14.5 and we're looking at the under, then I think we could consider that. He went 4 straight games of not hitting this. 42 minutes. This was an OT game here. So he hit in an OT game. You have to factor in the OT side of things. Denver is, so it's 51st, which is yellow. If they were 50, I believe, either 50 or 49 is where red starts. So they're pretty, he's essentially like right there at the cusp of red. Sportsbook favor the under. This is blowout potential. The current spread right now is 14.5. So if Denver is up by a ton, Vooch more than likely isn't going to be playing at the end of the fourth quarter. Jokic is probable. I think this is the same lineup they've been running the last few games. Kobe White's not officially... Well, I think he actually did come back yesterday. So I guess it's a back-to-back, so that's probably why they're not playing him twice. Bulls. So I'm looking at last night was double OT, yeah. So Vooch got a lot more playtime. 41 minutes, 8 for 17 shooting. Yeah, Kobe White played 30 minutes last night. And Zach Collins, has he played the last few games anyway? I don't know if that's an issue. No. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm pulling up the previous games on my phone. I'm trying to see the games that Vooch missed. Was Zach Collins playing? But it doesn't look like it was. So Vooch was hitting these unders without even having Collins playing. So I'm not too worried about it. It seems like most of it was this matchup here. So because this has blowout potential, this is a double OT game, so take it with a grain of salt. Yes, I'm assuming if it wasn't double OT, I don't know what his points was prior to the first overtime, but let's just assume it probably wasn't 21. So all the other players around him, Trey, Kevin, Buzz, Okoro, I think all these other players are kind of taking the scoring needs away from the Bulls. What even is the record of the Bulls? 6-4, and they're freaking massive 14.5 underdogs. That's crazy. I think that's what we're going to do, though. Again, we don't want to target overs and blowout potential, but we definitely can consider unders. He has a minimum line of 15. Projection's 13.77. He can get 16 points, which he did here on 11-7, 10 days ago, and still hit. Double OT, so not too worried about this. But so what I was just looking at on my phone, these was essentially the same starting rosters where he was... we're just hoping he keeps up that horrid shooting. He missed 9 shots here. 7, 10, 7, 6, 6, 4, 7. Yeah. All right. I think that's what we're going to rock with here. So let's do the next smartest thing. See if there's a better line available for him. Remember, when you go over, you want the lowest line. When you go under, you want the highest line. So let's see if we can find a higher line for good old Hoochie Vooch. The highest is 16.5, 15.5 on a few books. It looks like every book that has them 16.5 favors the under as well, so that's always nice to see. But if you want the best payout, you want to do the things that are highlighted yellow, Hard Rock and BetMGM. So yeah, that's it took us a while to get there, but the first part of the video started with something that you guys needed to hear. As long as you make the best decisions possible, losing is okay. You can't stress every time you lose a bet if it like destroys you mentally every time you lose a pick. And you know you did everything in your power to set yourself up for success. You weren't just throwing a dart at a board blindfolded. You can't let it attack your brain that much. You have to let it go, get back in the lab, lock in. And for anybody that skipped that entire lesson at the beginning of this, just get in the Discord. There's no excuses. You can't say anything that makes sense as an excuse for why you're not in the community chat room. The amount of people that have crushed betting because they're using the app and the Discord as designed has been so high. There's such a high volume of successful people that if you're seeing this success and you're like, you know what, I don't want that level of success, I'm just going to use the app and then how I want to. I'm going to ignore what the CEO that built the app is saying. And I'm not going to join 18,000 plus other members in the Discord who are more than happy to help me out every single day with any questions or feedback. You know how crazy that sounds? It sounds pretty crazy. Stop making excuses, get in the gosh dang Discord. If this is your first video you ever checked out, here. See in the top left where the little mouse cursor is bouncing around? This is the Discord logo. You tap on that, it gets you into the Discord. After you tap on that, tap on the person icon in the top left, it takes you to your profile page. There's a big sexy button here that says connect to Discord on it. Mine says disconnect because I already did that part. If yours says connect, it means you haven't done that part yet. So as soon as you join the Discord, you're probably going to be like, hey, where are all the channels at? Where's the 18,000 people trying to help me out? Well, you got to connect your Discord. So step 1, click this button. Step 2, click this button and then click connect Discord. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Good luck today. If you haven't seen the Monday Night Football show for today, I highly recommend it because, again, we're setting ourselves up for success. We did everything possible in that show to find the most probable bet. If you want to know what that is, you got to watch the gosh dang episode. It's on the same channel. Go look at it now. Do it.